All right, we are live. Welcome in, Aces. Thank you for joining in there as we look at people coming in. Did you ever get that XRD bag? Not yet, but I did do a video about it. It's on our Patreon right now, but it'll be live in about a week, about another week on YouTube there. If you want to check that out. But welcome in, guys. Glad to have you. Glad to have you in. Thank you so much for all your guys' support. We're definitely going to get this started. Cody should be joining us shortly. So, welcome into another episode of Crypto Morning Chat. We're going to talk about Quant and the launch of the Overledger. But before we get into all of that, we're going to have a little bit of housekeeping to go over. If you are new to joining with us, we do this live every Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, as well as we do What's in Your Portfolio on Sunday, Central Time. And as you know, it is Wednesday. We also have our evening stream as well, where we talk about random crypto topics and investing topics, although I think I'm going to talk more about business this time around. But glad to have you guys in today. If you are new to the stream, my name is Sal, and Cody is the other guy. That's the other half of Simply Investing. He got me into crypto. We kind of do this all the time, going back and forth talking about crypto. So we just decided to add a camera to it. But I do more than just crypto, as I'm in stocks. I own a couple businesses. I own rental properties. I own a lot of other things that I invest in and own, and do a lot of trading and things like that. So definitely thank you guys for all your support. Where's the shout out to Ace? Where's the XRD video again? It is right now. It's on our Patreon. Anyone has access to it for the $3 live. If you want to join the $3 supporter, all videos will be put on there before they come onto YouTube. As well as what's also coming to the Patreon is I do have one interview guy confirming for August. I have the next one trying to work out the details for September. I'm going to do a series. We're going to do like 10 episodes. And then when I start the next season of those interviews, I'll bring those interviews to YouTube. So if you want to have access to them before early access, go to, go to our Patreon, but it will be on YouTube eventually. As well as I am working with getting a financial advisor, a certified licensed financial advisor, to join us on Patreon for the one-on-one consults and things like that. So I'm definitely trying to get you guys some value there for what you're adding. And a lot of those guys normally charge like $250, $300, $500 just to consult sometimes. So excuse me. With that said, I think it's gonna be huge value for you guys entering in on the $50 Patreon, and he can set up one-on-one call. You can set up one-on-one chats with him as well. Also on the Patreon, you got a link to the Discord. All moderators, I'm going to be sending you guys that link as well, so you guys can join in. Shout out to Joey Ducey, up to 0.2 Bitcoin, 20K XRP, 20K XLM, 20K ADA, 30 Quant, 100 Cosmos, and 7,000, I guess, the graphs. Okay, well, that's definitely a good bag, although I'm not sure what the graphs are. And ADA's looking kind of stale at the moment, but you never know. But I do like the 30 Quant and the 100 Cosmos. That's definitely a good start there. In the 20,000 XRP, you're well on your way to getting that good bag that's coming. Now, before Cody gets in here, let me go over some of the graphics in AI crypto. Hopefully, ADA is good long term. Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for the support, and you're welcome there, Joey. Glad to have you on the stream, and we appreciate your support there. So, shout out to David Quells. Where can I learn how to make money with Bitcoins? I don't. We wrote Bitcoin right now is really just a store of value. So it's really just knowing when to enter in and when to sell. That's really really it. I don't know of anywhere else that what you can do is make money off of Bitcoin there. But if you're looking to get into trading and holding crypto, that's where people make their money. You hold it for long term. Hopefully, now you're buying and you're DCAing in to stack for the next bull run. Right now, crypto market's still trading sideways, still a little stagnant. We still have Bitcoin over the 30,000 mark, hovering at almost 14% up on the week, kind of flat, 0.5% up on the day. We have Ethereum finally going below the 1900, down 0.5%, but still up 8.5% on the week. We've got XRP still holding at 48 cents. Probably about nominal change, but we'll probably see a change in a little bit. ADA still holding down 2% from yesterday, but still up 9% on the week, holding the 28-cent range. You have a Solana starting its dip down as well. Litecoin starting its dip down. One of my coins that I'm watching, that I'm thinking about getting money into. We got DOT down about 1.5%, but still up almost 14.5% on the week. Still hovering at $5.11. Then we have Cosmos, kind of almost down about 1%, but still up 11% on the week. And then we have, excuse me. Then we have Stellar down 9%, or sorry, not down 9%, up 20%, still at 9 cents, but up 4% from yesterday. And then we have Hedera still up 10% on the week, but down almost 0.5%, still at 5-cent range. And we have Quant, which we'll talk about today, which is at 106.28. We're kind of down about 1%, but up about 6% on the week. So definitely having some action on some of the coins we're watching. And of course, as you know, we got, of course, all the meme coins doing their thing, kind of going up and down, left and right. So if you're sitting there watching Doge and Pepe coin, they're kind of, I think Pepe is up 74% on the week, up almost 4% on the day. It's still hovering at, good Lord, infinitesimal number. And I think it was somebody started taking Dogecoin or Shiba coin. Forget who it was. I think it was like a commodities exchange. So we might see some price action on Shiba and Dogecoin just from that. And of course, render token still flat, about 0.05% up, but still up 5.5% on the week. It's another token that I am following, but I have not put any money into it. But thank you guys for joining in. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes shortly. Here's Cody. What's up, Cody?
I had no idea the live stream was going. I'm sorry.
No, no
I
worries.
was I
I was
was
just getting
waiting
the
for
intro.
it all morning, and then all of a sudden, like 12 minutes, I look at my text and I saw a text that says 17 minutes ago.
All right. Well, shout out to you guys coming in. Hussein, Hussein, do you think Jamie will hit $1? I actually haven't really followed that, but we can take a look at that. Shout out to Miguel Santos. Thanks for the follow. Do not sleep on XLM. Um, it's hard to say. I'm a little favoring XRP a little more than XLM, but there's still some potential in XLM, just not as much potential as I see in XRP.
I do want to mention Quant's Overledger has released. Quant's Overledger is now a usable product from Quant.
Mm-hmm.
And Project Rosalind, which is basically their project, what they call with working with the Bank of England. Bank of England is going to use Overledger. So there's a lot of use cases for Overledger, and it's actually released.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to go over in a little bit here. Shout out to Dion Allen. Thanks for the follow as well. Glad to have you in here, and thank you all for that are coming in, supporting, and liking the stream. Really appreciate it. As always, like we said, this is a open forum, so if you wish to join in and you want to give your thoughts live, the link is in YouTube in the chat, and you can join us live and share your opinion, as well as if you just want to comment, certainly put your comment here on TikTok. I'll definitely try to give you a shout out there as you come through. Bear with me. Um, Moderators are still kind of coming in so we can get those comments pinned. So if we don't miss them, but I will try to get to all of you guys. But thank you guys for all your support. We're going to get into talking a little bit about Quant before we get into some of your requests there. So, Hossein, we're going to get to your token in a little bit. But like Cody said, the Overledger is now live. So we have Quant's first product live and usable for enterprise services.
Yes, and that's a big thing because for a while people were saying like, "Oh, Overledger, you can't use Overledger. Like it's not out, it's not out." And now that argument's not valid anymore. It's actually out. And
Mm-hmm.
they if you go on Quant's website on the article they posted, they have a neat video out talking about Overledger and why we need a digital pound and we need smart money and what smart money means. Smart money doesn't just mean like, oh, big corporations with a lot of money investing in an asset. Smart money also means like money that can move freely and it can move to where it's supposed to go without any issues. That's really smart money. And they talk about some malicious smart contracts and how over the years that a lot of smart contracts are actually malicious, and how Quant's Overledger can pretty much see malicious intent within smart contracts. It goes deep, but Overledger is a good product, and that needed to come out.
Yeah, and we're getting one step to tokenizing real world assets and bringing everything on the chain. I do see a shout out to Sergey Banger. He's back in the stream here. Glad for your support. Yeah, the what I like is the tokenizing of real world assets, and once companies are able to start using this, the Overledger blockchain and all the technologies relevant to it, it is faster. You're going to have money move faster, and that's going to help the financial industry as a whole, as well as the title industry as well. Because you can't imagine just sitting there, if anyone's ever bought a brand new car, sometimes you're sitting there for hours with like an hour or two with the business manager as they're doing all that paperwork. Oh, excuse me. Now you don't have to worry about that. Transferring titles is going to be a lot easier with Overledger as once everybody gets on board.
Oh yeah.
Um, what I like also is that they're expecting tokenized assets to reach 4 trillion by 2030.
Yeah, and that's more than like 2-3 times the market cap of crypto.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And shout out to Sergic Banger. Glad to have you in here. What's your thought on Pepe? Another
Sure.
leg up or dump? It's going to get doomed, but it looks like people are just piling it right now. So it's
Yeah.
going to keep rising. But we'll take a look at that after we go over quant here for you,
If
Sergic
you're
Banger.
really a trading genius and you can make money like that off Pepe, go ahead. But long term, I don't think Pepe is going to make it. But if you're a trader, you can make some money. By all means, do it. I'm not hating on that.
Absolutely. So, right now they're really targeting, like I said, commercial banks, central banks. I have a feeling the CBDCs are going to run off of this Overledger. I just got a feeling that Quant's going to be involved with a lot of the CBDCs, or at
We'd
least,
all be rich. We'd all be rich if CBDCs used Overledger. Like seriously, we'd be some rich folks.
yep. Now I do want to go over real quick. That I found an article that it was updated today, but I think this article came out about a month ago. But this person, this writer here, David Cox, for News Z, excuse me, has a pretty conservative price target for Quant. Shout out to Pack Rack. Glad to have you in here. Just joined and listening. Glad to have you in here. Thank you for your support and joining in. Uh, he's estimating $225 quant by the end of 2023, 400 for 2025, and 950 to 1,000 for 2030. So he's
That's
going
pretty
very,
conservative.
yeah, he's going
And
very
let me
conservative.
tell you why. Let me tell you why that's not going to work out like that. Because he's almost predicting the price of quant as if it's like the stock market. And crypto is not the stock market to where it just moves up 5%, 10% every year. Like it's not like that. Crypto, we have a bull market. We're extremely volatile, and volatility leads to tons of price action. With all this volatility in crypto market, that sounds like it goes against the volatility of the crypto market. So that's why I don't see that those predictions valid really. I mean, they're realistic. It's not like he's saying $100,000 quant, but the price volatility, that's just not crypto. Crypto's a lot more volatile than that.
Yes, and you can kind of see where his experience is or his knowledge frame is. Excuse me, but he's not taking into account the volatility of crypto. So we could easily see 1,000 quant in 2025 during the bull run.
Yes, we can. 1,000 is pretty conservative, but that's where I'm taking my profits. Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, like don't feel bad about being conservative. If you made a substantial amount of profits, like if you made a 10x, why would you not want to lock in a 10x? A 10x,
Mhm.
where else are you going to 10x your money realistically? People say, "Oh, well, man, this could go out a lot higher." My gut. And what if you're right? Yeah, sure. You took your profits and then you're like, damn, I should have waited. But you still locked in a 10x gain though. So that's what you need to
Yep.
keep in mind on, profit taking. Yes, it could go higher, but lock in that freaking gain. You hit a 5x, you hit a 10x, just lock it in because it's better than losing it all. Nobody can call you a sucker.
No, exactly.
You're literally locking in profit. There's no, you cannot make a bad move by doing that.
Nope. And like I said, it's you have to price in retail sentiment, the retail investor sentiment, and hoping that it goes in the right direction. I know the crypto greed index starting to go towards fear again, but it depends on how certain things in the economy go. Because like I said, we still have the data coming out today about the unemployment rates and the information on that. I don't think it's launched yet. And definitely take a look at that, see if that's come out. But I am very bullish on quant. I don't think 1,000 is even where it's stopping. But shout out to Pack Rat. Thanks for the follow. Glad to have your support. And shout out to Surgic Banger. I wouldn't take all my profits with just a 10x. Blue chips take forever to do a God candle. Well, that's true, but I would definitely take some profits and wait on the sidelines, as I know others would take
Yeah.
profits and we would move
Because
back.
if you're sitting there, you're in all that profit. Like, there's no way in hell. I'm gonna have $100,000 of quant by the time it hits $1,000. Why would I want to sit there and watch $100,000 and one coin? And it could go to 50,000 or below tomorrow. I could lock that in. Like $100,000. Like to a lot of people that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for a 22-year-old who still lives with his parents and needs to move out and needs to get his life going, I'm locking in that profit. I'm not risking losing what could change my life over, oh my god, it could go higher, if that makes sense. Because that's just,
Exactly.
I've seen people play that game before in crypto and it just doesn't work. My friend Jacob, he did that with Engine Coin. He put in like $200 before the big crypto bull run in 2021. He saw it go all the way up to $10,000. He never locked in that gain, and he has a whole Bitcoin, so it doesn't matter to him anyway. But if he could have locked in that gain, he could have done something with that $10,000. He could have taken a
Hmm.
trip. He could have added some stuff to his home. His car, like stuff like that. That money can change your life. Like even if it's like a small like a small change.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Logan. Glad to have you back in here. You have a great day as well. Love your support. Shout out to Dion Allen. Thanks for the comment. Based on TA, does it show a drop in quant or does it go up from here? Actually, it's showing that we're just going to be stagnant. I'm looking at the charts right now.
I'm kind of in the mindset that TA is just astrology for traders. That's it. Like the chart, it does say a lot, but it's I don't know. I don't ever rely on TA. I just kind of
Mhm.
just pay attention to the asset itself and not DCA.
Yeah, that's also true too. You could do it that way as well. Just pay attention to the asset and move on from there. But right now, the charts are saying no one's heard this information yet. So it looks like people are selling quant right now, not really buying, not really a lot of buying, but there's not a lot of action period on it. Yeah, like someone's
Yeah,
41 quant, but it's probably just people taking profits that got in at a lower point. They probably got in back here in the lower hundreds range, and they were just probably taking some profit. So these are just either traders or trading bots that are just taking their cut as they're going along. And on the buy side, it's a lot of retail investors just dollar cost averaging in. That's really it. Not a whole lot of price action going on. But I don't think anyone's really taken a look and saw that the Overledger has launched today. So that might change. That might change in the next little bit. Shout out to Surgic Banger. I did a 60x back in 2021 with Safe Moon, but I know memes pump faster and harder than big projects on CX. That's that's very true.
that's true, and I hope you cashed in on that 60x because a 60x is a life changing amount. Even if you put in $1,000, even if you put in $500, that 60x would go to $30,000 if it was $500, right?
Yep. I go about to if you had a well if you 50x on like a $300 investment, and you're looking about 15,000, and but you're probably like a 30 or 60x isn't going to get you to like a million unless if you put in a substantial amount.
No. But what I mean by life changing money isn't millions upon millions or wealth. What I mean by life changing money is, for example, you put in $600 in a coin and it goes up to $10,000. Let's say if you're in my scenario to where you need a new car, that $10,000 could buy me a car, and
Hmm.
that would change my life. Or for example, like I have 100 quant and I sell my quant at $1,000. I have $100,000. That $100,000 I can move out. I could quit the job I hate, and I could focus on getting into a career I either love, or if I don't want to do the career side and I want to go more entrepreneurial route, or if I want to get into real estate, what I could focus all my time doing is meeting with a bunch of real estate people, just talking, just absorbing information, posting online, telling people that hey, I'm 24 years old, I have experience investing, I have a good amount of profits from the digital asset space, and I'm just looking to pretty much absorb as much information as I can for real estate. That's exactly what I see myself doing.
Exactly. And that's what I would recommend doing is if you made a big enough bag off of your crypto holdings, I would divest a lot of it out and go buy rental properties and then use the steady income off of that to reinvest back into crypto and stocks. Shout out to Surgic Banger. Charts definitely matter. What is he saying? Patterns happen in the charts. So the charts are very good for trying to predict individual behaviors of people. So
I didn't
you
say they don't
can,
matter in general. I just said that you can't always rely on them to be 100% accurate. I should have clarified. You can see a lot in the charts, and you can see a lot of patterns, and you can even see where it's going, but it doesn't tell you everything. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
yes, and it depends because you could if you're trading, then you're probably going to be heavily relying on charts. If you're long term investing, then you should be looking at what the actual asset is doing. Shout out to Packrat. So Quant is a sleeper. Will take few years for utility. Probably as far as the actual use and utility, we're probably looking at 5 to 10 years for it to fully come on. However, it is still a great sleeper project. We're just not expecting the runs to start happening towards much later. But Cody and I are always believe that quant is kind of the crypto platinum to Bitcoin being the crypto gold and ETH being the crypto silver.
What does that put Litecoin though? Because for the longest, Litecoin was considered digital silver. So if ETH is digital silver, Quant's digital platinum, Bitcoin's digital gold. My question is, where does that leave Litecoin? Is it just like abandoned? Because I know it's not a fully abandoned. I know there's a lot of people and developers that still support Litecoin, but my fear is Litecoin being a dinosaur coin, but at the same time, it has halvings, and it has good
Mhm.
tokenomics. And Litecoin is decentralized, so
I'm going to put it like I don't consider because Ethereum seems like it's going to be around, Bitcoin seems like it's going to be around, and like Quant seems like it's going to get to that be like that crypto platinum where you just going to have it in your portfolio for various things. Litecoin, I get, you probably just be on the same level of Ethereum, probably, but it's hard to say right now because we have to see if it even makes it through after this bull run.
yeah, true. Because if you look at Litecoin's chart, like in the past, it pretty much did a double top, except not near the same time. So in 2017, it hit like 450 or something like that, and in 2021, it hit like 430. So it didn't even break all-time highs. And not only that, a lot of people, and you can argue that Litecoin is pretty much has the same functionality as Dogecoin. Like they have the same transactions per second. They're pretty much the same thing, except Dogecoin is just a dog version of Litecoin. That's what I've been saying. They're both the same thing, pretty much. Litecoin and Dogecoin, except Dogecoin doesn't have halvings.
Exactly. And Dogecoin is really just riding off the meme.
Yeah.
Um, so shout out to Sergic Banger. I get long term investing, thinking you'll catch a moonshot like how y'all think of Quant, but now I leverage trade on a CEX with up to 200x leverage, so anyone would need to hold long term. And that's true. Like I said, trade. I come from my crypto investing comes from kind of like my stock investing, and that's mainly because I run two businesses that do generate cash flow for me. I have my property holdings, which generate rental income and cash flow. So I'm not really hurting for. I'm not trying to get quick trades. I don't have time to do the quick trades, so I'm doing long term investments just like I do with stocks. And when I see that that what I have invested no longer has value or has capped out, in my opinion, I kind of de-invest. Shout
Yeah.
out to Packrat. I worked in private medical manufacturer in the 90s, seen impact of ISO changing global business. Exactly. And there's a lot of changes coming too with that as we all become more connected and integrated.
Sal said, like Sal was saying, he said he doesn't have the time to day trade. Now, however, I do have the time to day trade. I do have the time, and I have the risk, and I'm in the position to where, if I wanted to use leverage, I could. But
Mhm.
even though I have all those scenarios and predicaments, I still don't want to play with trading or leverage. I like the idea of long term buying crypto. And if the crypto I like doesn't work out, I'll be young enough to recover, and I have other crypto holdings. But I mean, I guess it's do what fits you both best because if you're good at leverage, you're good at trading, I can't knock you. If you make money, I can't knock you. But also, like long term for me, it's just more ideal, even though I do have the time and the money to trade and leverage.
Exactly, and you just gotta make that personal decision for you. Shout out to user 3274. Glad to have you in on the stream here. Really glad just today. What do you think Quant can get to in 2025? I'm thinking somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500. but I'm a little bit more conservative. I think Cody has more of like a $3,000 to $5,000 range
I
with the
have a
bull run.
I have a $2,000 to $2,500 range. I'm taking most of my profit at $1,000. And I say this now, and when it hits the bull run and it actually goes to $1,000, a part of me is gonna want to hold, but I don't know, man. I'm just a big believer in taking profits. I feel like I got suckered out if I don't and I lose all of it. I'd feel like, damn, like all those years of investing in quant, and look at me, like I didn't take my profit.
Mm-hmm. To Calixtu, welcome back in. Glad to have you in there. Thanks for your support. Good morning to you as well. What's the recommendation for today? We are looking at quant and going over the viability of quant. But I'm gonna take a quick look at the Jasmine coin. So shout out to an earner. I don't know if he's still in here. Um, where'd you go there, buddy? Hossein. Do you think Jasmine will hit $1? So let's just take a look at this chart here, and I'm already not liking the look of it. But it came out. When did it come out? March of last year, so it's been about a year. Looks like it's in the crypto graveyard there, buddy. So
hmm
I don't even see. I
I
don't
remember
see
looking at Jasmine one time.
40. It's got 40 million volume though. It's weird, but it looks like it's just in the graveyard. How many tokens? Oh my goodness, that's a lot of tokens. Okay.
How
So
many?
50 billion total supply. I don't think this is going to go to $1 anytime soon. And considering that 97% of the supply is in circulating supply, I don't think it has the ability to get back to $1. I mean, I see where the the vision and the hype, thinking it would be nice because that'd be a very wonderful trade up, but I just don't see it happening. So I think I'm gonna have to say this one's down and done, and we're gonna have to move past it. So I'm gonna
Yep.
X that one out there. Let's go back.
I feel that way about Hex too, even though it hasn't done that. Surprisingly, it hasn't done that yet, but I feel that way about Hex.
Shout out to Calixtu. When you take profits, you just pull everything, or do you leave anything? How I take profits is I always pull back to my original investment. So if it's like $10,000, for example, and it goes up to 15, I'll take 5 out and bring myself back down to 10,000. And if it goes back up again, I'll take it. If it goes down, I'll add back in. That's usually how I take profits.
Yeah,
But
you want to DCA out too.
I also think if like let's just say you put 10,000 in a quant and all of a sudden you got $1 million, my recommendation is to cash out everything, get your taxes
Everything.
squared away, and then start diversifying that investment into other avenues that can help build you steady income, and then you can come back in because with the crypto world, things will come down pretty quickly and unexpectedly, so you can get back in there at a great price. Shout out to Charles Hancock. Glad to have you in the stream. Thanks for your support and comment. You think it will go below 99? I'm hoping it goes to $85. I think it will go to $85 when we have the uh, the next 15 to 20% drop. However, it's looking like that might be another month out for us as we don't know until 10 a.m. today what the data is off of the unemployment coming out, and that's going to determine whether or not the Fed is going to raise rates, which I think the unemployment is going to come out too low again, and the Fed's going to raise rates, and we might see a quant below a $99 target again. Shout
Exactly.
shout out to Packrat. Irony, nobody combines talks on the gains slash profit taking in. in consideration with the tax bill. And that's true too. You cannot forget about those taxes. And when it comes to crypto right now, and well, stocks too, you are responsible for those gains and losses. So you now with like Robinhood or Scott Trade or Ameritrade, a lot of them will give you a tax bill, or not tax bill, but will give you your tax forms so you can go file them, so you know exactly how much to pay. With crypto, because everybody stores them in hard wallets, you're not going to have a lot of good tax data. So that's why it's very important
Unless
you keep track of it.
unless you're using, for example, like me, I use Coinbase, and a lot of people would laugh at me for that, but I don't hold my stuff on Coinbase. I buy my stuff on Coinbase, and then I send it to my ledger. But since I've been buying on Coinbase for so long, Coinbase has all my tax information.
Hmm.
So even though I don't store it on Coinbase, Coinbase knows that I, bought all that crypto.
Exactly. And I do the same thing with Uphold. Uphold gives taxes on everything I purchased, so I get a nice tax form, so I can get that over to my accountant.
Cash App does the same thing with Bitcoin because you can buy Bitcoin on Cash App. And actually, if you want to buy Bitcoin, Cash App is a great place to buy Bitcoin, in my opinion. It's a very solid place to buy Bitcoin.
Hmm. I didn't know that you could buy Bitcoin on Cash App.
Yes, you've been able to buy Bitcoin on Cash App, I think, for 2-3 years now.
Oh wow, definitely did not know.
Yeah, Cash App is a great place to buy Bitcoin, but you can't buy ETH or anything else. It's just Bitcoin.
Shout
Eventually, I hope. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Cody. I'll let
I
you
said
finish.
eventually, I hope to see Ethereum and other alts on Cash App.
Okay. I hope that would be a good thing for crypto overall. Like if you get Ethereum and a few other stable ones on there. Um, Shout out to Surgic Banger. Look at Pepe and XRP charts. I think XRP will go back below 40 cents. I don't know for Pepe. Pepe will follow whatever Bitcoin does. But if there's a volatile drop, Pepe will. If we have a 20% overall drop, Pepe will probably have a 40% drop. XRP hitting 0.40. I'm actually kind of hoping it goes a little lower, back in the low 30s, so I can dollar cost average aggressively in and grab up a huge amount of XRP, because I know that everyone's kind of holding their breath on that court case. I still think it's going to be favorable, but I think before we even get the favorable result, people are going to get scared and start selling out, and it's going to start dropping. And 0.40 is a conservative estimate. I'm going for like 0.33 cents on XRP, and I could really dollar cost average in and grab up a lot. I'm kind of waiting for that. Um, Also, FLR looks like it's gearing up for a nice pump in the next week. I only use Coinbase to on ramp fiat money to exchange for XLM, then send XLM to KuCoin and resell. And I do want to talk about that too. There are some arbitrage events going on with XRP and XRP Quant and Bitcoin, because if you buy it off of like Coinbase, it's cheaper there than it is on crypto.com. And it's probably because crypto.com is trying to get as much stores as they can for this next bull run. They seem to be perceiving that there's going to be a bull run soon.
Yeah.
And that's
Same
how I
thing.
think
Same thing with Tether and their Bitcoin purchases.
it. Like a lot of people are buying up Bitcoin right now. A lot of people are
Oh
buying
yeah.
Bitcoin. So that's probably what's keeping the 30,000 mark high. But like I said, all in the next 50 minutes is going to determine where this crypto market's going. However, what's going to happen is people are going to misinterpret the data as usual. And what's going to happen is they're going to say, "Oh, the unemployment rate's low, blah blah blah. Great, Tommy's still doing well. Crypto's going to
No.
get a nice 10 to 15% pump off of that. Suggest you take profits, because the Fed's going to go in the opposite direction, and then crypto's going to go down like 20%, maybe 25, maybe 30% drop because they're going to start raising interest rates again.
I want to talk about where that would put altcoins though, because you say crypto is going to have a 25 to 30% drop. Let's say Bitcoin and Ethereum drop, 25, 30%. Altcoins would drop harder than 50%. Like for example, Polkadot, it would be go from $5 to 250.
Mhm.
Everything would be dropping 50% if that happened. So your altcoins are going to get wrecked. Pretty much is what I'm saying. And I'm an altcoin buyer. I've been buying altcoins for the past 18 months. Benjamin Cowan would call me a moron. But, your favorite altcoin would probably go down 50%. Quant would go to $50, and I would just buy it all up because, I'm in them anyway. I see high
Mhm.
returns anyway. You might as well just buy them cheaper. And people would say that's called sunken cost fallacy, but I understand the fundamentals of what I've invested in. You could have said the
Mhm.
same thing about Ethereum back in 2015.
Exactly. And the only other place I see a great amount of potential in as well is the crypto gaming space, because we got GTA 6 launching with an in-game crypto. It's either going to have its own or it's going to use someone else's platform, and they haven't announced either way yet. But I find it very interesting that that's happening right now, where we're kind of in this bear versus bull market. And we're gonna those will probably have the most potential in this next coming run, because like if I was gonna have a degenerate bag run, it would be off the gaming tokens like Mana, um, Axis, Ad Shares, some of the new ones out there that are coming up.
Oh
And it'd
yeah.
be interesting if GTA 6 comes up with its own token. Oh, that'd be ridiculous. I could tell you that one's going to shoot to the moon right off the bat. Um, but shout out to Surgic Banger. Tether on Coinbase is horrible because it's on the Ethereum network, and on Coinbase and ETH gas fees are horrible. Yeah, the gas fees are very horrible right now, and I don't really like storing stuff on Tether to begin with, like profits. I like keeping profits either in Bitcoin or in cash. That's usually what I would like to do. But other than that, we're really just waiting for for the data to come out live to see how the markets are gonna respond. But I have a feeling that they're gonna respond positively to it because it's gonna come in really, really low. Probably
Yeah,
percent
I was
range.
talking to my parents about the unemployment rate
Mhm,
and all that. And you know how you said people misinterpret the data? Well,
mhm.
my grandma, she was all like, "Well, you say that the unemployment rate's too low, yet I see hiring signs everywhere." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's going to be places that are still hiring. But the majority, like for example, Walmart, if you want to get a full-time job at Walmart or anywhere else, a lot of those positions are taken or they're not accepting just because, most people have a job now. Most people are in the workforce. And people like my grandma, who was born in the 40s, she's like, "Oh, that's a load of crap. There's places that are always needing help." It's kind of like that common mindset. And yeah, that's true. But unemployment rate is too low.
Yes, what I could tell you right now is that, well, one, people are moving to where the jobs are. So, like Northwest Arkansas, Austin, Dallas, and they're moving back to the major cities like LA, Chicago, New York City, a lot of cities in Florida, Tampa, Sarasota, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. People are moving to those cities because the jobs are still good there, and that's where they're going. And but the reason why we see all these hiring signs, like fast food, the moving industry, the service industry, are all high turnover industries. So they're constantly looking for people because people come, people go, people come, people go. I think the average fast food worker lasts about 3.5 months
Yep.
in their position. And that's just through either burnout or they're not making enough money, or they're not actually a quality hire. And
Yep.
that's what that's what's attributing to that. But with if unemployment's like 2% or less, we just have too many people earning money and then putting sell pressure on the dollar, which is the sell pressure is now because they're buying goods, they're buying services, they're paying for things. So too much money is being spent. What we need to really curb inflation is money to go somewhere and never come back out. So what we need is like the middle class to hoard money and push it away. And the only way for that to happen is the mainstay goods and services need to come down, like food, fuel, energy, and healthcare need to all come down precipitously in order for that to happen. Shout out to Calixtu. Anyone have recommendations on any coins that might pump in the next couple of weeks? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. We're looking more long term, so I guess that's more of a question for Surgic Banger there. But I, I'm assuming that in the next 4 weeks we're gonna have a hit to the crypto market because we're gonna have an upwards jump because of good inflation numbers, perceived good inflation numbers, and then we're gonna get a drop because the Fed's gonna raise the interest rates more than 0.25. They're gonna it's probably about a zero point 0.5 or 0.75 or a whole percent to try to just break the market. And that's what they're gonna have to do because there's just way too many people working. But you also guys gotta remember the COVID benefits ended, the moratorium ended. So now you got to pay back the rent. You got to pay back your loans are coming back due. And guess what? In the next month or so, the student loans are coming off a moratorium. So they're just going to get hit hard. The first thing that's going to get hit hard is the car resale market. It is going to collapse. It's just basically going to collapse because all those people that bought these cars for like $1,000 a month, 1,200, 1,500. I think I saw one person for $1,800 a month, and I thought that was absurd because it's like I've never because I have good credit. My like to go get a lease from Mercedes, like you can go get an S class for $799 a month for a lease, or like but 1,800 for and I think he was had a Corvette. I was like 1,800 on, I think it was like an 84-month term. I was like, good Lord, that is insane. That's the highest. That's coming back to the bank. I'm telling you right now, that's coming back to the bank.
I'd much rather be putting that 1,800 a month in Bitcoin. I'm sorry. I'd rather. He is. I mean, I don't know his personal finance situation. I'm not pocket watching or anything, but 1,800 on a Corvette that's going to end up in a junkyard one day, or 1,800 a month on Bitcoin that can, in 4 years, 3 years, change your life. I mean, like, come on now.
Yes, and I get it. A lot of people have started to earn quite a bit of money, and I guess they're increasing their holdings, but at the same time, it's like that 1,800 could have done better. If you guys are young, don't get a brand new car when you're young.
Don't. And a lot of people are under this impression that, hey, a vehicle is an investment. Not really. It is not. And two, the fact that people are spending like all this money on, like I know a guy who has a 5.0 Mustang. It's a 2020. He loves it to death. And I mean, it's his hobby, but just because it's his hobby, it doesn't mean it's generating him money. The only way it'll actually generate you money is if you're going to places that'll pay you, or you're actually like promoting your car on social media. And there's a lot of people that try to do that on TikTok. I mean, everybody that's in the car game, they try to do that, but you have to actually make it work. And not only that,
Yes.
it's just all that money on a vehicle a month when you could be, you want to take a risk. Because in my opinion, putting that much money down and paying monthly on a vehicle that could get repoed if you miss a payment, that's a big risk itself. Because people like to argue on investing, oh, you don't know the future, it's a gamble, blah, blah, blah. Well, what if you lose your job? You lose your car. That's a gamble. You can lose your job any day. You could break your leg, or you could get out of the workforce. You don't have any savings built up. You can't make that note. Guess what? Repo man, he's rubbing his hands. So that's your risk in it. So people want to talk about the risks of investments. yet they make risky plays all the time with their money in the real world just by not being smart with it. So, would you rather take the risk on investing into an asset that may or may not work out, or would you take the risk of putting a $10,000 down payment on a Corvette, pay $1,800 a month just for it to end up in a
Mhm.
junkyard or repoed?
Exactly. And that means to say, if I could say there's any opportunity, if there's any opportunity that that you could have, it would be in Carvana because they're that company's ready for a big short on that to come. Like I'd put a big short on Carvana. I might actually do that right now for the end to place it for next 80 days because
What's your targets on Carvana?
let me take a look at Carvana here. I actually have
I
it.
want to do this on stream because that I agree there is a short opportunity with Carvana. It's just the targets that matter.
So I don't have my stock trading account linked to this computer here, but I can share you it. I can share it to you a little bit here. But I mean, if you look at it in the last like 3 years, you see where we're at. It was at 360. It was starting to get the squeeze, and now they're down. It's down here in 25. I expect it really to go to like probably like $2 per share
What's it
because
at right now?
$21.
A 10x drop.
Hmm. So we're looking at because we're looking at a variety of things happening. One, their capitalization loans are going higher. Their floor, what in the currency is called floor plan loans, they have to keep giving more money to because the value of the cars are dropping. Three, they also made a bad bet on the damn G wagon, and they bought a whole bunch of them at like ridiculously high amounts, and then lost $100,000 on each car.
Damn, 100,000 on each car.
On each car, they lost a crap ton of money on that, and I think they had over 200 G wagons that they purchased, and not to mention, um, the guys, the father and son that founded Carvana are getting investigated on on the low by the SEC because they participated in another fraud, and it looks like they kind of did the same thing here. They're also getting looked at by the FTC because they are breaking trade regulations on selling used cars, not having the proper paperwork. And I can attest to this because in 2017, when I first saw Carvana, I thought it was pretty cool. I bought a car off of there, and I couldn't register it for 2 years.
Really?
Hmm.
Why? What was the
I
reason?
didn't have the paperwork. I need the paperwork to go to the tax office here. I couldn't do it. They gave me like a slip of paper, so they just kept extending the tag until till the till the loan company just said, "Ah, we'll just cancel the loan, give you your money back, and just take the car and just call it even," because it wasn't registered. So
That's crazy.
it just sat in my garage for my garage for a little bit. But I'm not the only person to have those problems. So it's I have a feeling that Carvana is we're gonna have a short. I would get that short, sell it, sell out your short, get cash out your short, get your money from it because this company's probably gonna go bankrupt
Yes, it is.
and go and do a total liquidation of this company. So, because they're not doing anything right, and they've made huge financial mistakes along the way. Shout out to Surgic Banger. There's a lot of people that don't invest or not even interested in it. Tried talking to a lot of people, exactly.
Yeah, they're not interested, and that's true. You know, Salvatore's dad, for example, Salvatore's dad thinks that the investing world as a whole is a scam. And you know, he talks about his father a lot. He's traditional. You know, he took the teaching route, and he retired with 3.5 million and he had a pension and all that. A lot of people still see that as a viable way of life. Cool. I'm not knocking it. You get a career, you work in corporate America. I'm not dogging that. However, I don't want to be one of those people that lives like the Joneses. I'd rather just be. I see potential in the investing space, regardless of what anybody says or how risky it is. Even crypto,
Mhm.
like I still see potential in that. You can't change my mind, unless it truly doesn't work out. And by then, I'll be young enough to recover anyway. By next bull run, I'll be 24 years old. I'm still going to be a young pup. I mean, I'm taking the risk, and I honestly enjoy life right now because I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be, but I know I'm taking a risk, and that alone, me knowing that I'm taking a risk to change my life, that is what gives me energy to wake up every morning because I'm taking a risk. I understand that life in general is a risk. I don't want to live life safe when it comes to my money. When it comes to my physical being, I don't want to take risks. I don't want to vape. I don't want to do things that are terrible for me. I don't want to drive crazy. I don't want to do things that could kill me. But when it comes to my money, I want to take risks. Not with my physical being, though.
Exactly, and you should take calculated risks. Now, if you're my age in your 40s and you don't have any emergency savings, you haven't done any of the prep work, don't take some of the risky decisions that I'm doing because that could lead disaster. So, like, if I lose everything in crypto, it's not going to hurt me. I'll
No,
just shrug my
because
shoulders, write it off as a loss, and move on with my life. But you
where the
know,
bad. Oh, I'm sorry.
well, I'm sorry. I was talking to you. I want to shout out Crypto Gambino. Thanks for the follow. Glad to have you in here. Um, you want to do tried and true investing first because, like I said, I have a Betterment account, a Wealthfront account, and um, a private banking account where I have my basically a retirement value set aside. That's it. So I don't have to worry about it. If I lose everything that I'm creating, which my businesses, everything go under, my real estate portfolio, I have to sell it all, or I have problems with that, or any of my investments go to zero, I'll still be fine. That's what makes me an accredited investor is that I still have I still have about 3.5 million. I mean, I'm going to take a look at it beginning of July once I get my statements to really see. But that's 3.5 million over 20 years of working in corporate America, and of that, I've made a significant sum, and a lot of it got moved around from having 401ks and stuff. So, and I've been able to, even with my businesses and the cash flows I have, I'm still putting money into those things. So I'm only risking a small amount into crypto because crypto is probably the lowest investment avenue I have compared to everything else.
I
And
do want to say, oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, Cody.
The bad press in crypto, where it comes from, like I believe that if you're young and you're like me, you live at home, you have a bunch of risk, you have no debt, you have no student loan debt or anything, go ahead and jump in crypto. But what I think is, somebody in your age group, I'm not talking about everybody in your age group, but to the people who in your age group who don't have a savings, they don't have cash flow, they only have rely on one income source and they're trying to get in crypto, terrible idea. But if you're Salvatore's age and you have cash flow and businesses and assets and long-term assets to show for what you've done for all those years, then jumping in crypto for somebody his age is not a bad idea. But a lot of people in Salvatore's age who are in debt or they were bad with their finances, they're like, oh, I want to change my life through crypto. While the intent is good, that's a good intent, that's not necessarily the ideal thing for them because they can lose it and then they're going to they're going to end up hating the world or having suicidal thoughts, and that's what happens, and that's not good, and that's where all the bad press in crypto comes from. A lot of the times you have adults who are in extreme debt who made bad choices anyway, but then they're jumping in crypto to look for a moonshot, and I think that's terrible. I think it's harming.
Yes, and that's more akin to gambling. Shout out to Surgic Banger. Put more in crypto. Should be your biggest investment. Well, my real estate's always going to be my biggest investment. And I usually cover this every Sunday, but like I said, I have a total valuation of my properties at 11.4 million right now, and most of my mortgages, I'm already down to like 40, under 40% of that valuation, and got 3.2 million in debt off of those properties. And so like I'm trying to increase that as I go. But how I do things, and I suggest everyone else do it, is once you build one stable area, start increasing everything at an incremental pace, like just everything equally as you go up. Now, I would like to get my crypto bag as high as my individual pick and dividend portfolio bag, because that portfolio is pretty high, getting up to almost 1.7 million. But I'm not crypto's not going to catch up to that until the bull run, because every time I put money into it, it's kind of leveling, going down. It's in a downward trajectory right now. Shout out to Clicks to take care, everyone. Keep building those bags. Time to grind to 9 to 5. Absolutely, you got to keep building those bags and everything. And I also want to say something too. Like, there's nothing wrong really with a 9 to 5.
No,
99% of
no.
people will have a 9 to 5. Like, not everybody can be not everybody can be a chief. A lot of us have to be Indians. And there's a lot of people that make a ton of money just being a 9 to 5er.
Yes, you
Um,
can.
Retail is a typical place where it starts out really low, but if you work your way up to the top, like you get to a district manager level and excuse me, in district manager level or regional manager, you'll start making a lot of money. I think even at Walmart, like the average store manager at Walmart makes $100,000 a year. And I think that's even an old number. I think that was like maybe 10 years ago. So they might make more now. But I know the district managers make about 180. You got regional managers that probably make about 250 to 300, and that's not counting bonuses and things like that. So there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. And you have to really see, can you see yourself running a business? Because the most common thing I see when I talk to people, especially when they're asking for help, is like, well, how can I get to your level? How can I get to running a business? And it's, can you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day after you came back at 2 a.m. the next day? Can you go months without any income or revenue? Can you figure out how to overcome those obstacles? Can you have all the pressure of people's livelihoods depend on you making or breaking it? That's a very hard thing to do. Most people cannot do that. And that's why 99% of businesses fail. Like your first 6 months, 99% of those businesses fail. And of those that stay around within the next 5 years, 99% of those businesses that made it through 6 months fail. And after next the next 5 years to the 10-year mark, 99% of those businesses fail. And then generation to generation, 99% of those businesses fail. Shout out to Simon Khan. Uh, Thanks for the comment. Glad to have you in here. Thank you for your support. Is it possible that I can get in touch with you privately? You can do that you can reach out private message on
What's good, bro?
Facebook. I don't have a WhatsApp, but you can do it on Facebook. And go to Simply Investing 2015 and message me there. Or I'll follow you. If you follow me on here on TikTok, I'll follow you back with the message there. And you can also join the Patreon, and you can message us there as well. That gives you access. You only have to join for 1 month to get access to the Discord, and I will not be booting anyone out that decides to cancel their Patreon. Once you're in and you have access to Discord, you are free to cancel it. That is entirely your decision. Um, Shout out to Surgic Banger. Then quit, save what you can besides taxes, find a better pay rate, set a price, repeat. Shout out to Crypto Mike. Good morning to you too. Glad to have you in here. And That's true too. But as I really wanted to address that, when you're coming in, I see especially a lot of young guys, young people. You're seeing a lot of social media, and it's telling you that the 9 to 5 isn't the way to go. And it's like if everybody wasn't a chief, we wouldn't have enough Indians to get the jobs and tasks done. And I'm not saying that because I'm already kind of at the top. I'm saying that in the fact that even I did 20 years of grinding in corporate America. And granted, I never had, I was in management and sales. So my lowest year was $80,000 in salary, and my highest was 540,000 on my salary for the year, not counting bonuses and all that other fun stuff and commissions. So I've already made a ton of money through my investment, through through working a 9 to 5, and then I saved and invested that all the way through. And even that could have put me at retiring at 40 if I had stayed with it another 5 years. But I decided to start this business just for a little bit more freedom. But even I was naive coming into opening up the business and thinking, oh, this it was tremendously hard, way harder than I thought, especially with the moving company. I can't tell you how many nights I was out till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had to get up the next day and do it all over again.
Oh, I was with Salvatore. I worked for his company, and I remember one time. I still remember this job to this day because this was the hardest job I've had working for Sal. And it was this Indian couple who had this nice mansion. I said, "How much does this house cost? $2 million?" He said, "I wish it cost $2 million." But he had a BMW X5 parked out. They were doing well. He was an architect, and we were working. We were there until 3 a.m. in the morning because they had so much stuff, and they bought us Chick-fil-A, and they were nice to us and everything, but we were there until 3 a.m. And this is just the moving side. In any business avenue, and I was just a worker. I wasn't even a business owner like Sal, but in any business avenue, and I'm 22 at saying this, but you're gonna be up long nights. You got to be able to handle that shit. You got to be able to handle. We're going through cash flow issues. We're having a hard time paying our employees at the moment. How can we overcome that obstacle? And that is so stressful. Not everybody is built for that type of stress because you wake up, you have your workers, and their lives depend on you being able to give them a check. Sometimes, if you have cash flow issues, you're not going to be able to fulfill that all the time, and you got to overcome it. You have to find ways to be, and that's not for everybody.
Exactly, and that stress level isn't for everybody either. And not to mention, on top of all of that, you got to pay your taxes, you got to do all that stuff, and it's either you got to pay someone, and if you don't have the cash flow, then you got to figure out how to do it yourself. So there's a lot of stress involved. Shout out to Crypto Mike. It's hard for me to get employees. A lot of people don't want to work. I feel the same sentiment. I get a lot of people that apply because I do pay very well for the moving industry, but I do get a lot of people, they come in and then in a couple months they're out.
Yep.
And that's just the flow of any business. Some businesses are higher. I think even the restaurant industry is even higher than that because if you it's hard to be a server. It's hard to be in the service industry in just general. It's really really hard. And God help those that want to start and own their own restaurant. It's just just a hard work.
Yeah. Oh
Shout out
my
to
goodness.
Buddy Man. What's up, buddy? Glad to have you in here. Um, thank thank you for your support. I'm shout out to Buddy Man as well. I'm still waiting for Quant to drop. Yep, so am I. But I dollar cost averaged in this morning, as did ball a little bit of Quant just because of the news of the Overledger. And thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it.
I
Um, Go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
I want to tell everybody real quick. Tomorrow is the first day of Polkadot Decoded, and I recommend everybody. You can virtually see Polkadot Decoded for free. It's a ticket. It's in Copenhagen, but not everybody can go to Copenhagen. So it's free to get a virtual ticket, and you get an NFT for attending Polkadot Decoded. But Polkadot Decoded, basically what it is, it breaks down Polkadot, and it breaks down how Polkadot is the biggest bet on chain maximalism. Like it is against chain maximalism. It is all for interoperability. And I recommend everybody attending Polkadot Decoded virtually because I already have my ticket and I'm going to let everybody know how it goes. I'm going to take screenshots, I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to discuss that all on stream, after day one tomorrow. But I recommend everybody, getting their ticket because it's probably one of the biggest events in crypto, especially right now. Like, how Bitcoin Miami is a thing and
Hmm.
that's how Polkadot is with Polkadot Decoded. This is a huge event. There's going to be 35 to 50,000 people watching. This is a huge event. And it breaks down how Polkadot can just change how chain maximalism is because maximalism, it's going to die down eventually.
Exactly, and it's eventually. Well, yeah, I think Polkadot's definitely prime for a good uptick, but it's still going to go stagnant because people are just ain't paying attention to it.
Yes, I encourage
Which is good,
everybody to watch Polkadot Decoded.
which is good for us if you want a dollar cost average in. With that said, though, I do have to go get my moving company started. Got a lot of things I have to do. Got to pick up some trucks and things like that from the shop. So I'm going to have to call the quits for today. Do you got any final thoughts there, Cody?
Pretty much just keep paying attention to what's going on in the crypto space. And what I mean by that is pay attention to what the developers are doing. Pay attention to what the developers are interested in because the developers are key in, a crypto staying alive, especially as an investment. You want to pay attention to developer sentiment, not just price sentiment. Because evidently Polkadot is still leading in development, and I'm not a Polkadot shill. I'm not paid. This is just me holding Polkadot and being an enthusiast. But pretty much Polkadot is just changing the way crypto is being done. You have Deloitte with Kilt, which is their digital identity protocol. Deloitte is a huge enterprise that's using it, and we're gonna see more and more of it. And digital identity is a big thing on Polkadot. Having your identity on the chain, and not just so it can be hacked. Because if a hacker can't really exploit Polkadot anyway, because it's currently hard and expensive. But knowing that Polkadot has all this technology with digital identity, it's going to be huge. And it's not even just digital ID, it's just
Mhm.
interoperability as a whole. And pretty much going against chain maximalism. Like that is something that's going to change over the next 2 to 3 years. We're going to see it with Polkadot. Polkadot's a sleeper. We talk about Quant all the time, but Polkadot is just as much of a sleeper as Quant.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
It's
And
going to be a giant. I can see it being top five, top 10 easily. It's number 13 right now.
exactly. And shout out to Crypto Mike. Both of you guys have a great day. Definitely.
You too, man. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Buddy Man. I got one quant at 107. Hey, you gotta start your DTA somewhere, right? Sold
Yeah.
I sold other ones at the peak. That's a good way. I would just keep reinvesting profits in so that you can keep getting more and more till you get the big haul and profit, and then we'll.
Fun fact. Y'all know the rapper Money Man? He's a big rapper and he's all for crypto. And in one song he talks about how he buys Polkadot and VeChain. He's a rapper and he has $1 million in Bitcoin. He has about 45 Bitcoins right now. But Money Man's music isn't for everybody. You have to really like the trap music genre. But the reason why I bring him up is because he's big. He's a big entrepreneur. He is heavy on getting to the bag. He talks about crypto a lot, and he has a lot of Polkadot, and he has a lot of
Mhm.
Bitcoin.
Um, and yeah, so shout out to him. Cody definitely brought me onto that guy too. He's definitely seems like he's playing his cards right. Shout out to April Showers. Uh, so what is the best stable coin? I don't really pay attention to stable coins because
No.
I either put my profits into Bitcoin or I keep it as fiat. But a lot of people like Tether. Cody and I don't like Tether. I really don't know what would be the best stable coin because Until there's that's the one area I think you need to have regulation is in the stable coins.
Yes, 100%.
Until I can tell you which one would be the best stable coin. But the populace is saying Tether right now. So
Tether is looking like it's a house of cards that'll just fall, but that's just my opinion. And when it does fall, Bitcoin's going to be very cheap
yes, it would be very cheap when that
because
happens.
they have a lot of their money in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. They certainly do. And it's just going to be a downward spiral, kind of like the Luna coin. Um, But with that saying, I don't have much other to say other than, thank you guys for all your support. Glad to have you guys in here. We really appreciate everything that you guys do for us because you guys definitely have some great questions in there and everything. And shout out to April Showers. You're welcome. Thanks for your support and your comments. Definitely glad to have you in here. And if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, likes and subscribes are free. You can go into the bio there, like and subscribe to us on YouTube under Simply Investing 6638, or you can come here on TikTok and like and follow us here as well. Really appreciate it. And also, if you guys want to do a little bit extra support, you can join the Patreon. Join there for $3 a month. We're going to give you a lot of access. You're going to have access to all the premieres of all the videos, all the new videos, that the token analysis, the any other special videos that we're doing. You're also going to have access to the exclusive interviews. They're only going to be on Patreon for the first year, so it'll be a year before they actually come over to the YouTube side of everything. Then you have the Discord, which is free to everyone on Patreon. Once you join, you can go through the post and join the Discord. And then, of course, you also can go for a little bit more, get the free crypto portfolio analysis, and I'm working very hard to try to get a certified financial planner in for you guys to join in on those one-on-one calls. So you'll not only have myself, who was a licensed trader and giving you advice on crypto and business and real estate, but you'll have someone else also giving you advice on your portfolio management. And as long as everything goes through, he can tell you from that side, from a financial advisor side, and everything like that. And I think that would be very, very, very good for you guys. And like I said, a lot of the Discord, if you just want to sign up once for to join the Discord, hey, that's perfectly fine. We do appreciate your support. But with that said, guys, I'm gonna check out of here. Thank you guys. Remember, respect the process. Only invest in what you understand and never invest more money than you're comfortable losing. With that said, guys, have a great day. Stay safe. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. I almost thought it was Wednesday, but it's only Tuesday. So I guess my days are mixed up. So that analysis with the data for the unemployment's coming out tomorrow, not today, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wednesday time. So we might try a time to stream to where that comes out live during the stream for you guys. But with that said, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.